Coming up next, two-time award winner Below the Line with George Peroulas.
One of the hottest programs airing on TV right now is the award-winning show Homeland, filmed right here in Charlotte. Today, I'll talk with two actors from the show and go where no other camera crew has gone, inside the Brody House. The exclusive tour is next, only on Below the Line.
It's Below the Line with George Peroulas. On tonight's show,
Welcome to Below the Line. The Showtime network chose Charlotte to film its TV series Homeland. The main location is the home where the Brody family lives. I found out why and how this house was chosen. Below the Line has the exclusive tour of the property, including a rare look inside. Take a look. This is the famous Brody House used in the award-winning series Homeland, which airs on Showtime. Location manager of the show, Karl Golden, now joins me. Karl was a guest on the show earlier this season. Welcome back.
Thank you, George. Great to be back.
Thank you for coming. Congratulations to you and everyone with the show. You won 2 Golden Globe Awards. The show won Best TV Drama, and Claire Danes won Best Actress in a TV Drama. How do you feel?
I feel great. I think, I'm very proud of the whole gang, Claire, and, we're very proud of all the work we did, and great to get some recognition.
There have been other accolades and nominations as well, and of course season 2 begins airing later this year. But let's go back to the beginning when Showtime was looking to do the pilot. How did you hear about it, and what locations were they looking for here in Charlotte?
Well, it first started, a couple of executives from Fox were inquiring with the Charlotte Region Film Commission, and they were thinking about bringing something down, and they wanted to take a look around. It was between us and a couple other cities that they were looking at, and Beth Petty from the Film Commission called me and said, hey, can you go around with me and help me get a little itinerary together of just showing, what Charlotte and the surrounding area has to offer. Once we did a little tour of everything, the Fox executives said, I think we could do this. We could do this here and do it well, and there's crew and there's equipment and good locations. So it was a positive experience, and they said, well, we could go ahead and base here. So hooray for us.
Absolutely. How much time did you have to find all of the locations?
Before the pilot was actually, when we started production, I think we might have had about 4 or 5 weeks to find everything before we started.
And what sort of things were you looking for?
Well, we were looking for the Brody House. We were looking for Saul's house. We were looking for the Pentagon. We were looking for a CIA headquarters. We were looking for Air Force bases, things like that.
Speaking of the Brody House, what was the search process to find this home?
Well, it first starts out, there's some pretty wide-based parameters. The director, Michael Cuesta, wanted to see, he saw the Brody family as being in a ranch, kind of a middle-income, maybe a little slightly upper middle-income home. He's a sergeant. He's been missing for 8 years. Something of a modest nature, but had enough room inside for us to work around in.
There are hundreds and hundreds of homes in the area. How do you go about finding the potential properties that fit the requirements for the production?
Well, you first get an idea from the director and the designer as to what overall type of location you're looking for. In this case, the Brodys were going to be in a middle, slightly upper middle income ranch-style home, and there's a lot of those in Charlotte, built in the 50s era. We started looking around and we must have seen 40 homes before we landed on this one, which had enough space on the inside and a layout that we could use. It had enough rooms, and the design of the interiors were something that the director felt that he could work with.
And what was it about this house that became the final house to be the Brody House?
I'd say it was, you know, the way it's situated on the street, the nice neighborhood that it's surrounded by. It has a good yard, the grass was good, very good lawn. There's a good flow where you can walk around with the camera and follow the action and follow the actors from one room to the next. The foyer area is, you know, pretty highly featured when you have the actors answering the door, coming in the door, leaving the house, things like that. It had an interesting familiarity to it. I think anyone could relate to a house like this, and it had a few, you know, atomic age accoutrements to it that looked pretty interesting, like the hearth and the parquet floors, and I think some of the windows and the layout in there was something that could work out very well. The back porch area features well. We do, you know, I think there were a couple of cookout scenes. There were some scenes out in the backyard. It's a very nice neighborhood, and I think it just looks right, and it just felt right for them to be here.
What sort of neighborhood support is needed to make filming work for the production?
But you definitely have to have the cooperation of all your neighbors, especially the ones that are right up across the street, right next door, on either side, sometimes in the back. Just depending on what you're going to do, you will always have people, you know, we'll have 50, 60 people in the neighborhood, van drop-offs and pickups all the time, camera trucks, set dressing trucks, all kinds of equipment needs to come up, drop off and unload, and not only that, you need to put snow down if it's a winter scene, and we put snow on everybody's yard, you know, during the Brody homecoming scene. So you need to have the immediate neighbors taken care of, but you also need to let the homeowners association know and work with them, let them know what you're going to do. Nobody wants any surprises, and I think the success of us being here was that everybody was in the loop as to what we were going to do, when we were going to be here, how long we were going to be here. So yeah, you have to get the cooperation. You have to be outgoing in that respect.
Can you show us around?
Sure. So here we are in the front yard. George, a lot of stuff happened out here. You know, at the homecoming, Brody and the family posed for a picture in front of the tree with the yellow ribbon. A lot of other stuff happened in the front yard too. Brody coming out, it was a big reveal when he got dressed in his Class A uniform, came out and greeted the press and said, "Are you guys ready?" A lot of other stuff like confrontations in the yard with Carrie and Mrs. Brody and with the daughter towards the end of the season. A lot of walk and talks, a lot of drop-offs, stuff like that.
Cars coming and going, and of course,
exactly.
there was snow at one point too.
Snow all over the place, and definitely the homecoming where we had just throngs of people out here greeting the Brody family. But enough about that, let's go inside.
Great.
Well, this is the foyer.
Okay.
Everybody comes and goes in the Brody household, where they would answer the door if it's the vice president or some unhinged CIA agent.
That's right. Lots of action coming and going from the front door.
Lots of action. So naturally, George, they built this on the stage. So everything is pretty much the same structurally looking, but it is about a third larger to fit the crew and all the people that, you know, and the equipment, you know, to make things happen. You may notice this blue wall, which you would have only seen in the pilot episode. The owner of the home liked it so much he decided to keep it. But on the stage, it's cut away so that the kitchen kind of flows into the den area. And this is where the Brodys, you know, sit and watch TV. Of course, this is not decorated the way it was, you know, when we were here for the pilot.
So the den and the kitchen is all one big open space? Yes,
this is an open kitchen, open floor plan situation. Okay, well, this is the kitchen, and you see the window where there's a lot of activity you see through the window. Mrs. Brody talking to Captain Faber As Sergeant Brody's outside flipping burgers and stuff, there's a few secret conversations, and there's a little suspicion as glancing back in and out of the windows. So a lot happens here in the kitchen. You can also see out the window there towards the garage and the carport area, which we've replicated on the set, where Sergeant Brody goes to sort of hide out. And unfortunately, the CIA guys didn't have enough time to plant cameras in that garage. So what exactly happens in there? I don't know.
He secretly prays.
He does.
And of course, this is the kitchen that was used in the pilot. And of course, as you said, now on the soundstage, the kitchen and the den is one big open space.
Right. And basically, this wall here has totally been taken down to a counter, and they've put a whole new cabinet operation on the other side of this room, sort of make that a wider open space. They did incorporate the skylight, but they did do some structural changes, some artistic aesthetics, and that kind of make it a more open, and it's easier to light that way. It's also, there's also more flow and openness. So you can actually see from the kitchen to the hallway, to the den, to coming in from the sliding glass door, and things like that. So if we walk this way, we pass through the dining room, and you know, we didn't really use it a whole lot. There were some point of view shots from inside looking out, and from Carrie's point of view on the street looking in. And that does kind of prompt me to mention that we're not always on the stage, and sometimes we have to come out to location, especially if there's a point of view shot from inside looking out at the street. For instance, when the Vice President's motorcade comes up, or when the limo arrives to take the Brodys to the big party, the cocktail party.
They shot that here.
We shot that here. You know, we had the sun looking out the window at the limo as it drives up, and then you see Mr. and Mrs. Brody all decked out in their finery before they head out to the big political cocktail party. So a lot of times when you see people coming and going into the house, it's very interesting how the editors will, you know, you won't really be able to tell whether we're on location or on the stage. It's just kind of seamless that way. We'll shoot up to a point where they're about to go out the door and then cut, and we're in the stage, you know, maybe on a completely different day, and shoot what goes on, you know, as they step outside or get in the car or things of that nature. All right, well, here we are in the backyard, back porch, back patio. A lot of stuff happens at the Brody backyard. There's cookouts where people fire weapons and get into fist fights. There's deer that pop out of the woods and
get shot.
And get shot, yes, I know. I don't want to give away the whole series. On the stage, we actually have this replicated too. In fact, all the stonework here and the boards here of the deck are actually drawn onto the concrete of the stage. In the pilot, we took down this porch railing, but we kind of liked it and put it back on when we did some reshoots, and so now it's a permanent fixture on the stage. When we're on the stage, we have this backdrop. It's a huge curtain where it's just a giant photograph of the backyard in a reverse. So whenever we show it, you know, any shots from inside looking out, what do you see on the outside? You see greenery, you see trees, you see the backyard. And it's a giant photograph of the real thing. And they just hang it up on curtains and pull it in and out as needed. And over this way, George, you will see the famous garage area. Of course, it's locked because Nick Brody likes to do his prayers to Allah in there.
Secret prayers.
Secret prayers. Nobody knows he's become a Muslim in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Also in this area, you'll see different points of view from the kitchen. From the kitchen looking this way, from this way looking at the kitchen. There's a little patio there where Mr. and Mrs. Brody are talking about him going to get some help, maybe through a support group. This is where they come and, you know, you'll see them bring their groceries into the house from here. Of cookout over here. And if you want to go around the back and see the garage, it's not here. We built that on the stage.
Okay.
So that whole thing, Carrie searching the garage for hints of terrorism, Brody praying, washing his hands, you know, praying to the sun as it comes up under the crack in the door. All that is on the stage. You will never be able to tell that, though, when you see the actual show.
The way it's put together with editing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, sorry if I got your hopes up.
Well, it's all Hollywood and all the magic that they do for putting these things together, incorporating the real house with what they built on the soundstage, and it looks seamless.
Yes, it does. Mission accomplished.
Thank you, Karl, for showing us the Brody House. I wish you, the cast and the crew, all the best in season 2, and look forward to seeing it on TV.
Well, thank you. My pleasure.
Coming up next, I'll talk with 2 actors from Homeland. You'll meet Renee and Rachel, who play sisters Ruby and Josie Matheson. Stay with us.
When you open a book, you can explore new lands, make new friends, and discover new adventures. There are amazing possibilities when you open your mind to reading. Explore new worlds. Read.
What's that? I don't know. Something I kind of made. Ooh, what's it do?
What do I do? Well, thanks for asking. I ring my bell and I like to dance. What do I do? Well, thanks for asking.
Ow! Yeah, it still needs a little work.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
You're watching the award-winning Below the Line with George Peroulas.
My next guests are the 2 adorable nieces of CIA agent Carrie Matheson. They are sisters in the show, as well as in real life. Please welcome Renee and Rachel St. Gelais. Hi girls, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for coming. Now, you play sisters in the show. Is this the first time you've played sisters on a project before?
We usually play in roles together. So most of the time we are sisters or just in the movie together. So we're usually together on sets.
So Rachel, tell me about a project that you worked on together where you weren't sisters.
We've been in The Blind Side together. We weren't sisters in that.
Now, what's it like working together on this show for Homeland?
I think it's really cool just to like meet all the new people, and even just filming in the neighborhood, we went over to the neighbor's yard and they had like this big swing, so we got to meet them. And I also like the food.
So how does it feel working with your sister on this show?
It's cool because we're sisters in real life, so I get to react with her like a real sister, and like I treat her the real way because acting is not fake, it's real. So
what about you, Renee? What's it like working with your sister on set? Is there a difference when you're at home versus working together with all these movie people?
Yeah, I think there's a big difference, you know, because on set we are all behaved and stuff, and we don't really get in as much fights. I mean, we still get in like little fights over, you know, something on set, but in real life we get in more fights than usually on set, because on set we're like perfectly behaved and stuff.
Now tell us about your character Ruby.
Well, she's Claire Danes' niece, and it's just really fun. And my favorite scene we've been in with her was whenever we got to sleep in the same bed as her, because that was a fun scene.
With Claire Danes, who was also your Aunt Carrie in the show, and your mom on TV is Maggie in the show, played by Amy Hargraves. Now, Rachel, tell me about your character Josie. What is she like?
Well, I'm a girly girl. She's a tomboy, and so we're very different in that way. And she likes lizards and stuff, and I probably like ponies. And so we're different, really different. But in real life, I'm the tomboy. She's more girly than me.
So how did you get involved in this show?
We actually got Homeland off of a tape on our back porch. So we didn't even go to a callback. We just got it from our back porch.
So you did a video audition?
Yeah.
And then they called you in to be sisters because you're sisters.
Yeah. So that was really exciting.
Tell me how you felt when you got hired.
Well, I was on the way to my friend's house. So we got the phone while we were driving in the car. My mom was on the phone and I was like, "Did we get it?" And she said, "Shh, I'm on the phone." You know, because we usually like to bug her whenever she's on the phone. You know, it's very entertaining for us.
It's a kid's job.
Yeah, it's our job to annoy her sometimes. So that was really exciting.
What's it like working with the other actors and the crew?
Well, they're all really nice, and we've made like friends with them, and yeah, and some of them we've known from other sets too, so yeah.
And Rachel, what is your favorite part about working on the set with the other actors and the crew?
Well, I like the scene where she tucks me in goodnight and she gives me a kiss because I can relate to that, and Mom does that to me, so.
Explain what it's like when you first get to work on set. How does your day go? What happens?
At first, I get a little nervous. Like every time we go on set, I get a little nervous. But then we see the people we know, and then we make more friends, and then I relax, and then it's all good, and it's really fun. So.
And Rachel, you get to the set in the morning usually, and you're there all day. What's it like hanging out before your scene? What do you guys do?
We play with what we have. Like we had like a toy barn, and we were playing with it when the first scene we did. So we were playing with that, and then we ran down the stairs and said, "Auntie Carrie!" And so I like that scene too, and everything about it is fun.
Do you get to see the entire show or just the scenes that you're in when it hits TV?
Our mom only allows us to see the scenes we're in because, you know, it's for like adults only, so we're not really allowed to see the rest except for the parts we're in, so.
And Rachel, your show recently won a Golden Globe for Best TV Drama. What do you think about that?
Well, my mom told me because she's the one who watches it. And so when she told me, I got a big smile on my face, and she was like jumping up and down and stuff, and so I got excited with her.
Renee, how did you feel when the show won Best TV Drama?
My mom was like replaying the part where they won over and over and over again. And every time she said she got like the chills because she was so excited.
How did you feel?
I was really excited too. Even though it was late, I was tired, but I was excited.
And of course, your Aunt Carrie, played by Claire Danes, also won Best Actress in a TV Drama. What do you think about that?
I think that's really cool for us to be working with her, you know, since she's like famous and stuff. And she won that award, so that's cool.
And of course, in the show, the two of you live with your mom, who's Maggie, played by Amy Hargraves, and your grandpa, Frank, played by James Rebhorn. What's it like working with them? And of course, the house that you live in is also here in Charlotte. What's that house like?
I think it's a cool house, and working with them, that's really cool. And you know, she kind of is like a mom to me because like we ate lunch with her and we just talked to her a lot, and she was like a mom on set. She was our second mom, we call it.
So how did you get involved in this show?
Well, people started saying we were so pretty when we were young and stuff, so my mom got us hooked up with an agent, and it started from there. We got connections with people, and so that caused us to get in movies more. Mm-hmm. My mom's really good at that, so she helped us a lot, and people told us about the movies that we could audition for, and so we auditioned for it, and we just got it sometimes, so.
I started by my brothers. They were actually auditioning for, well, I was 4, so I don't really remember this very well, but they were auditioning for Kilroy was here, a student short film. So they auditioned for it, but they didn't get it, and they ended up booking me. So that was my first movie I've ever done, and I was 4.
So have you been in projects with your brothers or just your sister?
I've been in projects with both, but sometimes it's just me or just her. All of us. You never know when they're going to want all of us, so.
And you've also done plays. Do you like plays or movies or TV or everything?
I love everything. I mean, it's all fun because of all the people that are with us.
And what is a favorite character that you like to do? Or what is a character that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
I've always wanted to be a clown. I don't know why. I've just wanted to be one.
A scary clown or a happy clown?
I want to experience both.
Both? You just want to be in the get-up and do clown stuff?
I like scary stuff and happy stuff, so.
What about you? What do you want to do?
I'm scared of clowns, to be honest. So I wouldn't be a clown. I'd rather be a zombie. They're not as scary as clowns. So I'd rather be a zombie.
And what advice do you give to other kids who want to be actors?
Well, you can do it, just ask your mom and maybe you can like get some classes or something. But for us, the auditions just like came and my mom just got us an agent and that's when it started.
What is your favorite part about this business?
Well, everything about it. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. If I had to choose, would be like the worst is probably working forever, like until nighttime. We've had to stay at sets for really long times, but it's worth it, the time.
And what do you like about the business?
I actually kind of like staying up late. I mean, it's fun. We're like having a party at nighttime on the set, and there's all these lights, and it's cool. I like staying up late.
Renee and Rachel, congratulations, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're back in a moment.
Gotta get that. Oh, I must be careful.
Foreclosure is hard on every member of the family. If you're struggling with your mortgage, there is help.
Come on, Anna.
To learn about the government's Making Home Affordable program, visit makinghomeaffordable.gov or call 1-888-995-HOPE to speak to a HUD-approved housing counselor. It's free of charge.
Thanks again to Renee and Rachel St. Gelais and to Karl Golden for the exclusive tour of the Brody House. Feel free to contact us with your questions, comments, and show ideas. The email address is belowtheline21@gmail.com and join our fan page on Facebook. We'll see you next time.
For more information, comments, or questions about the show, email us at belowtheline21@gmail.com.